time.
Hey, what's good YouTube? Brody here. I'm gonna show you guys how I produced the song Forbidden Door by WICCA Springs Eternal and BLACKWINTERWELLS, produced by me and NARC. So it started off with NARC sending me this loop. Very ambient, very cool mood to it. It actually was made from a guitar loop that I sent him, and then he chopped it up, added a bunch of pads, and kind of entirely reimagined it, and then sent it back to me. So what I did was, he also sent stems, so I had all of the different layers of it. I arranged it out into different sections here, and then also added some shaper box for rhythm, some halftime, things like that. I've done this trick in some of my other beat breakdowns too, but essentially what I did was I took the same like vibe of the sample and just added some rhythm and momentum to it. So we go from what I showed you to, so we have the da 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 kind of rhythm to it. This really makes it driving, gives it some more momentum. There's part of the loop where some bells. And what I did was, so it was just like a mono bell. So I made another bell and expand. And then I just panned them left and right to give it more of like a stereo field effect to it. And then in the hooks, I took the same thing and threw distortion on it just to like make it a little bit different, a little more energetic and big for the hook. Some distortion and crystallizer, I believe. Yeah. So you get that distortion energy, and then you get that octave up energy as well. Soundtoys bundle is amazing. Helps my project sound so cool, so unique and different that way. I don't know, big recommend. But yeah, so essentially that's what's going on in the melody. I can solo out some of the specific parts we have. This pad in the background and the intro. Also this weird ambient kind of thing. The verse, we get the main guitar. I have a respace that I made in Massive. Adds in a couple extra parts here. Adds in this. And more guitar like stretched and reversed. And then the hook, kind of the same idea. I just mixed them a little different, made them a little bit bigger and louder. And that's essentially the melody for this. Pretty simple and repetitive melody-wise, but that's what I wanted for this song. I wanted it to just like fit the mood and not take up too much space up front, aside from like when the bells come in for special moments, but that's about it. Drums-wise, so because of the rhythm that I made with the melody, the da 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 da, I really wanted to lean into that, so I did like a drill inspired drum rhythm here. So with the hat here, you see we got the simple pattern with some like flourishes and things going in. We got the clap, doing the same drill pattern. I also like to layer it with, so all of these drums, the crashes and things are not, but all of the percussion and like drums, kick, snare, hats, whatever, are from my drum kit. And what I like to do sometimes from my drum kit is layer a normal clap with this sample in the background. And it essentially just like, without adding reverb, puts it in a room, gives it a little extra high end and release to it. Very subtle, but it helps bring it more forward, and it helps make and 808 clap samples sound a little bit more organic and alive, I think. Aside from that, I have some percussion and stuff going on in the drums. I think the most interesting thing too that I'm doing is also from my drum kit. I have this sample that I have bounced of just like acoustic drum kit cymbals, and I like to throw a shaper box on that same preset that I used for everything else to kind of glue it all together and give it this sample like sound to it. I find that tucking that in the background of the drums, also same as that snare sample layer, it just like brings some life to it. So it goes from this to that. This extra high end, extra energy, extra like aliveness to it. Classic Taylor Morgan white noise downfall, best white noise sweep ever. I have let's see here. I'm using a kick and 808 also from my most recent drum kit that's on my BeatStars. I have this kick, or this 808, which is just spins that I put a ton of decapitator and other distortions on. Just really high energy, a lot of high frequency to it. I actually have a bus that I'm doing a lot of processing on to kind of stereoize it too. I'll play it without and show you. So very mono. I'll put it in the context. Pretty good, but that bus really adds a lot of energy to it. So I'm pretty much just going through and adding distortion, some micro shifts to make it really wide, so it's just side frequencies we're hearing. I have an EQ to cut out the low end because you don't want that much sub in the sides. I just want to get like the low mids to really thicken it up. Some more distortion, noise reduction because Devil Lock adds a lot of noise. Then just like EQ shaping, and I tuck it in kind of in the background. So it could go really loud. This is the sound on its own. So I think it really adds a lot to it. And because this sample is kind of, it doesn't have that much of an attack to it. So what I did was on the verses, it plays by itself. And on the hooks, I added this kick to it. Just to give it a little more punch, you know? And again, with that 808 pattern, I'm really leaning into the same groove that we have. Rhythmically, everything in this song kind of like glues together. Very syncopated, very percussive, almost like a metal song in a way with like a palm muted section. Just everything's following that same idea. You don't want to make it you don't want to make everything be the exact same because then it gets a little bit stale. So everything does have its own little flourish and part where it does its own thing, but for a lot of the time, all of the rhythms of everything kind of group together and make this mood happen. And yeah, essentially that's the song. Pretty simple, but very effective, I think. I love the mood of it. Honestly, one of my favorite beats of the year, I think. Shout out NARC for sending me the loop and making this happen. Shout out WICCA and BLACKWINTERWELLS. They both absolutely killed their part. Honestly, dream team of a song. Very honored to be a part of this one and excited to show you guys how I made this one. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. If you have any questions, want me to expand more on anything, let me know as well. I'll link them in the description, but the drum kit that I mentioned a few times, a lot of my sounds from here are in. I also have a Discord channel where a lot of people will talk about their production and get a little more community-driven feedback. I have a Patreon where I have a lot of videos like this that go more in depth and show kind of like my whole process like in motion. I'll like start up a blank project and make beats, make loops, mix a song, etc. in there. So a lot of cool info if you guys want to check that out and liked what you saw here. But that being said, again, if you made it this far into the video, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Peace out.